I'm here with Chris. We're driving through Malta. Which city are we in here?
What's the?
Which city are we in?
It's called Bujeba.
Bujeba.
Bujeba, yeah.
Okay, so you're a youth worker. How long you been working with youth?
Yeah, about 5 years.
5 years. And we were just discussing some progressive youth policies, and you're telling me about something to do with further education when you get to 16.
Yeah.
So what's that?
Basically, if young people continue studying, they continue attending schools after they're 16. The government give them a stipend to encourage them to continue school and remain in school.
So government will actually give you money.
Yes.
To make sure you stay in school. How much money do they get?
It's about 85 euros per 4 weeks, 85 euros in a month. And if you're coming from a disadvantaged family, you even get 150 euros.
150 euros. And this is to continue with your education?
Yes.
Because I heard one of the ministers say that they try to basically remove all excuses that anyone may have to not remain in school or education,
exactly,
or employment even. And what kind of policies do you have with regard to sports, like incentives to get children involved in sports?
Yes, if parents get their children into sports activities, they pay for their sports activities, the government will reduce that amount that they paid from the tax.
So you actually get a reduction in your tax for taking your kids to sports
yeah,
to do healthy things.
Yes.
And on top of this, I heard about something called it's called the Strina. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So explain the Strina to me, because I was told that it's like a fund you guys have, and if people need an operation abroad, they can access money from this fund. How does it work?
The Strina is the activity that collects money. The fund is called the Community Chest Fund.
The Community Chest Fund.
It's
like in Monopoly.
yeah.
Ah, okay.
It's administered by the President Foundation. And the Strina is an activity that it's done every year, and they do a lot of different activities to collect this money for this fund.
Okay, so
and one of them is the fun run.
The fun run, I heard about that.
Basically, it's a fun run. It leaves from the President's Palace to the President's office, so it leads from Attar to Valletta. And people register for this fun run. They pay 10 euros each, and it's a fun run previous presidents used to join and run the
join and run with you. And all that money goes into the Community Chest
Fund. Yeah.
And then I heard there's like an auto show as well.
Yeah, that's part of the activities done too. Yeah.
And what else?
A lot of things like football tournaments. Everybody organizes things, and they just donate the money to this.
So if you want to do your own Strina, you can organize an event.
Yeah.
And then
donate the money to the fund.
And what does this money get used for?
And then there's a lot of organizations that they get money from this fund. So every year the Community Chest Fund make a list of the organizations that are gonna benefit from this fund. But there's also like us youth workers, social workers, when they have special cases where young people need money, you can apply for the money, and they get assistance from this fund.
So they listen. You guys are like the frontline workers with the youth, and they listen to your recommendations. Like, okay, on needs-based assessment, basically, you can say, okay, this youth has a need, and this fund steps in to make sure they're okay.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that you would cite as like really progressive that maybe I haven't heard of yet?
Well, then there's the National Youth Agency that basically that has its own programs to help young people or youth-led organizations. So every year the Agency Azaza issues certain criteria for projects, and you apply, and if you meet the criteria, the Agency Azaza will give you money.
Okay, give me an example. Give me an example.
Like there's the A4U fund that basically young people, if they have a project, like last year, young people that I worked with, they had the idea of doing bicycle ramps, skateboard ramps, and all that stuff in their area. But of course, they had no money to do the ramps, so they applied with the National Youth Agency, they gave them details of the project and who's gonna work with it, the target group and all that stuff, and it got accepted and they get the funds. They work on the project. Now they have a mini skate park, in their area. So yeah, there are different types.
So even like ideas generated by the youth, and they just have to come up with a decent proposal. Which do you help them with crafting these proposals?
Yes, of course, and even help them in implementing the project. Then
to make sure the money is spent properly.
Yeah.
So what are other kind, like, so you've had skate parks as an outcome of this? Any other facilities?
Even there are musicians that they needed instruments or something like that. So,
Wow.
So yeah, there's different kinds of young people that needed things, and through these funds they can realize their projects through these funds.
And is youth work professionalized in Malta?
Yes,
so you don't
yes.
have to volunteer all your time? Do
No.
they pay you?
Yes, of course you need to do the training. You need to have a youth and community studies degree,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's the Youth Workers Act that gives you the warrant that you can work as a youth worker.
So you have a Youth Workers Act even here?
Yes.
What kind of thing is in that act? What does that
Basically,
say?
it's to get the warrant. You need to make a number of hours. You have to work for a number of hours, and of course you have the qualifications to be a youth worker.
Yeah.
And there's a code of ethics that you need to.
Sign on to.
Yes,
So it means you're accountable.
of course, yes.
Okay, and how many youth workers would you say? Does Malta have a lot of youth workers?
Well, warranted youth workers, I say there are like 50 youth workers.
50 of you guys?
Yes.
Or warranted? It means that
because
you've
of
signed
course-
on to the ethics, you got the
Yeah, because
qualification.
The warrant has just been a new thing. It's only about 6 months, maybe.
6 months.
Yeah.
It's very progressive. So where do you get qualifications in youth work here? Because even in the Caribbean, this is still at a discussion point. It's not yet implemented. I don't think there are degrees at the University of the West Indies. Definitely in my country, not at the University of Guyana.
Okay.
So what kind of stuff do you study in if you're doing youth and communities, a degree in that, for instance?
Of course, at the university there's a department for youth and community studies, and it caters for you can get a diploma, a degree, and a master's in youth and community studies. And you will study various topics in these years.
Like what kind of stuff? What kind of stuff?
Of course, things like sociology, criminology. Of course, it's always based around
Young people.
and the community. Of course, there's life skills,
Mhm.
outdoor education.
All of that is comprehensive.
Yeah, it's a vast issue.
And how long have you been working in youth work? How long have you been doing youth work?
Youth work as a youth worker, like 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Chris, thank you so much for sharing that. Anything else I've left out, or anything you think, like if someone was looking to improve the situation or condition of youths in their country, anything else you think people could look at? Like I heard about a vocational school, and tell me if I'm wrong, but it said something like 300 courses. Was it 300 courses or 300 students?
Yeah, I think you're talking about MCAST. Yes.
Yes.
It's, yeah.
So what's that?
basically it's a vocational school. It's there's as you said, there's 100 courses you can.
So it's 300 courses.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a lot of courses, and people can go into the schools in different levels. So if they have like O levels or A levels, they can enter in different stages. in
And
the
what
school.
kind, like, you don't have to list all 300, but what kind of stuff can you do?
A lot,
What
like,
kind of courses?
like social care, there's like engineering, there's science, there's beauty and healthcare, it's art and design. It's vast, the courses are different.
And so you get a diploma from this?
You get a diploma and
Mhm.
a degree also. You can get a degree also. So it's you can start from the bottom and you can
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
and get a degree.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Chris.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Of course, one last thing I think if you have all these things,
Hmm.
also the youth worker should have the attitude to work with the young people and
Yeah, well,
positive
you have a very
energy, you know.
you have a lot of energy, and you seem to have a very positive outlook.
So it's usually having all this stuff and as a youth worker, you don't have the attitude to do the job. You know?
So it's good. It's good to have the infrastructure and people with the right attitude.
Yeah.
To do it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I don't know who wouldn't be inspired by the last 5-10 minutes of what you said. That's awesome.